So if there's one thing I didn't think would be back in the news anytime soon, that would be Velma. If you guys are unfamiliar, a lot of you found me from Velma, thankfully. I mean, that's great. Unfortunately, I did have to subject myself to watching that god awful TV show, but besides that, I did manage to find a huge audience because of Velma, so we can't be too angry at it. But apparently, Velma is back in the news because the creator of Velma is now wanting to speak out about the negative reviews now, apparently. Like, I don't know why they want to speak about it now when they had all the time in the world prior to speak about it, but apparently they are. So according to this article here from MovieWeb, it says that the Velma creator comments on negative reviews and says creator Charlie Grandy has finally weighed in on the assertion that the series has tarnished the Scooby-Doo franchise. Now, obviously, we all know Velma was a god-awful TV show. It really was. Velma was one of the worst TV shows to come out in modern times that I could think of, to be honest with you. And a lot of people, it united everybody. It united the left, it united the right, it united everybody in between, and everybody vehemently hated Velma, and they were all unified in that aspect. It was honestly quite touching to see everybody so unified. So let's get into this article, guys. But of course, before we do, consider giving this video a like to help push us out into the YouTube algorithm. It says it would probably be an understatement to say that Velma was not very well received when it was released on HBO Max last year. Well, that will definitely be an understatement because that TV show got ratioed to all hell. Not only did they attack the fans in their opening trailer, but they ran the entire pity party for every single episode all the way to the end. And you know what's funny? Till now, till this day, we still don't know what the viewership numbers were for Velma because they have not released it. We can only go based off the Nielsen ratings, which pretty much show to us that Velma has completely bombed, even though they tried to say, oh, well, according to Parrot Analytics, it's one of the most in-demand TV shows out right now. It's more in demand than The Last of Us. Then why is the views nowhere near The Last of Us? Can anybody explain that? Yeah, I can't either. And that's because Parrot Analytics is a garbage website that they all try to use to showcase fake numbers. So it says, serving as a Scooby-Doo prequel series, if you even want to call it that, albeit one without any trace of Scooby-Doo himself, the show primarily a new incarnation of Velma as voiced by Mindy Kaling. She also served as an executive producer on the show and helped creatively with putting it together alongside series creator Charlie Grandy. The idea was to do something different with the franchise, and it certainly did accomplish that for better or for worse. I don't even know if you would want to call it something different. It is literally just not Scooby-Doo. I don't even know why. I guess I do know why they wanted to name it after Scooby-Doo, because they wanted the clout from it. That's what it is. They wanted the clout from the characters. They didn't want to make this into an entirely new TV show, but they could have. They didn't have to put the Scooby-Doo name on this. They very well could have just put some random new name on it, and it would have been the same exact thing. The only thing is they wanted the clout from the Scooby-Doo franchise, so that's exactly what they did. They made an adult, if you even want to call it, an adult version of Scooby-Doo, which no adults seem to like. It says Velma was pummeled with bad reviews upon its release, landing an abysmal 7% rating with audiences on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics were a little more kind, though the series was still labeled rotten with a 40% approval rating. There have been a variety of complaints about the show, but one of the most prominent is the accusation that Velma disrespects or even ruins the Scooby-Doo franchise. In a recent interview for Emmy Magazine via comicbook.com, Grandy addressed this criticism, clarifying that Velma takes nothing away from Scooby-Doo, but merely has carved its own little spot for itself somewhere in that world. Where did you carve yourself in this world? I don't even, like, I'm trying not to laugh at it because, again, they're taking themselves seriously, so I'm trying to take it serious. But where did you land yourself in this world of Scooby-Doo? You only landed yourself in the shit that Scooby-Doo probably produces. I don't understand why you even consider yourselves in the same conversation. It's almost an insult by itself to consider yourselves in the same conversation as some of the classic Scooby-Doo cartoons and movies that have come out over the last couple of decades. So again, people love Scooby-Doo, all right? People grew up on Scooby-Doo. Multiple generations have grown up on Scooby-Doo. And for you to even consider yourself in the same conversation, knowing damn well that nobody liked you, not even the people you were trying to pander to liked you. And that's how you know you messed up. It says the original Hanna-Barbera shows are still out there to watch. We are not erasing the originals. We just want to be a little ice planet on the outer regions of the Scooby-verse. I don't even know if I would consider you a little ice planet. You're probably a moon on that little ice planet. That's how much people hated you. So it says Grandy also spoke about how Velma was put together. He recalled how enthusiastic Kaling was when she initially spoke to him about creating a show for the brainiest member of Mystery Inc., a character that all too often gets placed on the sidelines to make room for Shaggy and Scooby's antics, as Grandy explains. Well, that's the thing, though. It is literally called Scooby Doo. So if you expect Scooby Doo to be sidelined in his own TV show, that's not how it worked back then. It might work that way now, where all these writers are trying to subvert audiences, and they're trying to make it more for modern audiences. So what they do is they use the name of the big character, and then they bait and switch you, and they put in the character that nobody wanted to see. The only difference is people actually would have wanted to see Velma. People would have wanted to see Velma have her own TV show. Unfortunately, though, you didn't give Velma her own TV show. You gave Mindy Kaling her own animated self in a TV show. That's what it is. You drew an animated Mindy Kaling and you made that into a TV show. You didn't make a Velma TV show. It says Mindy came to me and said she loved to work on a story with Velma. She loved the character and thought it would be funny to have her at the center of a show. Grandy also spoke about the differences made to the Mystery Inc. characters in terms of appearance. While Fred Jones remains a white male, changes were made with the ethnicities of Velma, Norville, and Daphne. Grandy explains that these characters are not rooted to being white, but there was nevertheless some concern that the studio wouldn't sign off on making these changes. However, the powers that be at Warner Bros. Were apparently thrilled about the idea, having with any character changes so long as the show would be funny and good, as Grandy puts it. Well, unfortunately for you, it was neither funny nor was it good. And isn't it amazing how all of the white known characters in history are all not rooted to being white? It's an argument that they always want to make. They always want to make that, oh, the whiteness of this character wasn't inherent to the character, thus we can race swap it. But then somehow, some way, every black character in history has its roots based in its blackness. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You think every black animated character, every black superhero, every black everything has its entire roots based in its blackness? No. So why won't you race swap some of those characters, but you obviously want to constantly race swap the white characters? I don't really care, because as a Hispanic person, I'm used to not having representation, nor do we give a fuck. We're too busy working to give a shit about whether we're represented in an anime TV show or not. And honestly, when I'm watching an animated show, I don't care to look for someone who looks like me. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for something that's entertaining. I'm looking for something that's fun to watch. If you're going into a TV show or an animated show or a movie and you're inherently looking for someone that looks like you in order for you to be enjoying yourself, there's something probably wrong with you, in my opinion. So it says, none of these characters are rooted to being white. We were worried about going to Warner Bros. And asking them to do it, but they said, do it. It's time. Just make sure it's funny and good. So again, guys, this is the problem with Warner Brothers, and this is why David Zaslav was put in his position in the first place. But don't get it twisted. David Zaslav is only one man, and he is still having to answer to certain people that are in particular departments that still have creative control, and a lot of those people are still very much woke. They have not fired a lot of those people who think that way, and there's no way you can really get rid of everybody who thinks that way. So you just gotta kind of come to expect it. That's why HBO Max has a little bit of an identity crisis. They'll put out something that's badass, and then they'll put out something else like Velma, and it's the same publishing company, but it's two different complete ideologies. So you just have to see who's creating it to know whether or not it's something you're probably gonna like. But Velma is one of those TV shows. It comes every now and then, but thankfully I was able to witness it. It's one of those TV shows that united the entire world against one cause, and I love to see it. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.